Today we're going to be taking a look at Season 5 in Modern Warfare 3. Where to even begin with any of this? Okay, so I guess first things first, we'll go ahead and take a look at the Battle Pass. And if we go ahead and go look at the instant rewards, yes, we have, WWE wrestlers inside of the Battle Pass. Furthermore, if we go up to the completion part of the Battle Pass to where, like, you know, once you get the 100%, this is the completion tier. Yeah, well, first off, we have this absolutely sick skin for Valeria right here. If I'm gonna be honest, I actually kind of prefer the way that the normal one looks over the Black Cell variant, but maybe that's just me. But then if we go ahead and look, yeah, this is the completion skin for Rhea Ripley. This is the normal variant, and then we have the Black Cell variant here again. I mean, for this one, I could really go either way. I actually think that I do like the Black Cell variant more on that one. If I'm gonna be honest, the main skin that I know for a fact I'm gonna be rocking is right here, the Samurai's camo for Jett. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of tempted to cough up some money for the Black Cell Pass just for this skin right here, just because like the black and the gold and the samurai. I mean, if you guys know me, I love samurai type stuff, but you know, it's just one of those things where I was like, all right, you know what, like, hey, I'm not gonna cough on the money for that. You know, if I'm not gonna pay for bundles, I'm not gonna pay for a Black Cell Pass. I haven't paid for a single one yet, not gonna start now. And besides, the black and red one, I mean, black and red are my favorite colors, and let's be honest, this variant would have been more authentic anyway. We also have some new weapons in the Battle Pass, those being the STG-44, which I actually did unlock, so I'll be able to show that off to you guys, and then the new SMG, the Static HV, and as always, there will be more weapons coming later in the season. As with every other season in Modern Warfare 3, if you complete all 8 sets of weekly challenges in Season 5, you will unlock this new camo called Chainbreaker, and honestly, compared to all the other ones we've gotten so far, this one does look pretty cool. Is it my all-time favorite one that we've gotten so far? Probably not, but it is up there just for the fact that it does look so unique compared to like everything else that we've gotten so far. Normally with most camos in this game, you know, they try to go for a bit of a ethereal or maybe like more of a space galaxy vibe, but this is just, I mean, it's like, it's so in your face, it's so unique, obviously kind of like hitting itself to the whole WWE theme that they're going for this season, and yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. And as always, in order to complete one of the sets, like one of the weeks of challenges, you only need to complete 5 of the 21 available weekly challenges, so I mean, I already went ahead and completed all the multiplayer and zombie stuff just to, you know, give myself some extra XP, working on the Warzone stuff right now. Also, for anyone curious, I did not buy any tiers in the Battle Pass. I've literally just been grinding my heart out. I'm currently 22% of the way through. Now, granted, there is double Battle Pass XP and all that going on right now for probably through the entire weekend, which is nice, but yeah, I've just been going grind crazy. They also added 2 new maps to the game and 2 map variants. So basically, first things first, we have Bait right here, which we're going to be diving into playing that in a moment, as well as Yard. The Yard is essentially like, you know, like the new shipment, stash house, meat type of map where just it's a small slaughterhouse, and then Bait is a bit more wide open, and again, we'll be getting into that, but one thing with Yard is that this is actually a cell-shaded map, which is a very common theme this season. Now, I don't know if I'll actually be able to show off the other variants in this video, just because there's a lot of RNG here trying to actually get into the map, but basically we have Tunoxide, which is a cell-shaded variant of Rust, as well as Cell Ship, which is obviously a cell-shaded variant of Shipment. And honestly, I really like how those maps look, and it's to a point of where, like, I don't even care if we get new maps at this point. Like, I mean, obviously, I want them to keep putting new maps and content into the game, but I'm also at that point of, like, man, there's so many maps in this game. I would love to just see some cell-shaded variants of some of the classics already, like a Das House would probably look great with it, but then again, we already do have a variant in Das House with Das Grows. Maybe we could get like a cell-shaded variant or spin-off of like Terminal. I mean, again, I know we already have the Vortex variant in that map, but still, I love the cell-shaded look. I'm also like a huge fan of cell-shaded games in general. Like, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen the Borderlands poster and the, you know, the top part of every single one of my videos. But anyway, one thing worth mentioning is that if you complete the first set of weekly challenges for Season 5 inside of Modern Warfare 3, you're going to be able to unlock this aftermarket part for the Morris, and essentially what this does is this turns it into the musket, or in other words, like the blunderbuss from Advanced Warfare. This isn't exactly, you know, like a faithful musket or blunderbuss. Like, it doesn't have the whole animation, you know, like the cool reload animation where you do the thing at the top. No, it's not like that, but I mean, it's obviously still a musket, and the range is rather short on it, but yeah, this is just amazing. In the firing range, it looks like it's a potato, but that's just because this thing is better at close range, but yeah, it's great. And then here's the STG. I will be doing a more in-depth look at this weapon once I unlock Interstellar and Borealis, both for this and the Static HV. I'm gonna wait until I can do those all in one video, but yeah, basically, I mean, it's the STG we all know and love, and I'll shut up for a minute so you guys can kind of get a feel for how the weapon sounds. Yeah, it's very clean sounding, has a bit of a punch to it. I mean, quite a punch to it. Like, I was playing this game with my surround sounds on my subwoofer on, and oh my gosh, on the low end especially, like, this weapon hits. I wonder if Sledgehammer is trying to hint towards something, because we had the Kar 98K last season, which is a modern weapon, but it also was very prominent in the World War II era, and now we have the STG-44, which was also very prominent during the World War II era. I don't know what they're hinting towards. Am I saying that we're gonna get, like, Vanguard 2 in a couple of years? I don't know, but, I mean, Sledgehammer tends to do this thing where they hint at whatever they're working towards in their current game. So back in Vanguard, they added the BP-50, which was obviously hinting towards, like, Modern Warfare 3 at the time. They also did the same thing back in Advanced Warfare, where towards the end of that game's life cycle, they started adding World War II weapons, which is obviously hinting towards World War II, so I'm just saying, man. Also, for any of you that are like me and you ended up completing all your armory unlocks, like, basically at the beginning of the year, they went through and added a bunch of calling cards and emblems and stuff, so, you know, we have a lot to grind for now. But anyway, here's the map bait, and we have this beautiful loading screen here. Loading into the map, we're gonna rock out with the STG, and we'll pull up the tap map for a moment, and, you know, it's more of like a medium-ish map. It's not like a small slaughterhouse-like shipment by any means. There is a bit of verticality to it, which we'll obviously show off as we go. I love how many of the maps in this game have kind of gone for this beachy, resort, vacation-y, just kind of like summer theme. We had maps like Vista, for example, and like Six Star was another one I can think of, where they're just real bright, real blue. They just look amazing. So you got the docks down here that you can run past, and you got these beach balls. Oh my gosh, I actually just noticed that you can shoot them to deflate them. That is amazing, but yeah, you know, you just gotta run around the map, and again, there is a bit of verticality to it, so say if your only objectives over on, like, B flag on domination, for example, you know, you can either be up here on these balcony parts, or you can be down there, like, trying to cap the objective. Overall, if I'm gonna be honest, this is actually a great map. Again, there's a lot of different rooms, a lot of different areas to it. The objective placements are basically perfect. The spawns and rotations seem to be pretty fair. I haven't seen too much nonsensical stuff like we see it in some maps where, you know, enemies be spawning behind you, to your left, to your right, like, all in all, you know, it's a great map. There's a lot of cool art and signs all over the place and many details, so, you know, I'm loving it. Obviously, the map's only been out for a short time now, so only time will tell how this map will kind of age over time in terms of just, like, you know, what metas or spots people find in the map, because you can never truly speak to a map's quality or balance overall until players really get the time to learn it, learn the spawns and everything like that, and see if there's a way to cheese it one way or the other. But so far, so good. All in all, I'm really liking this map. It's absolutely beautiful, it flows really well, and it's just a lot of fun to play on. I also added a new mode to the game called COD Warrior, which we're probably not going to get to today. I think I'm going to save that for the video when I cover, like, Interstellar and Borealis for the STG and, you know, the static and all that today. I just kind of want to show off the new maps, but this is essentially, like, Mario Party, or I think like WarioWare would probably be a better example of it, except inside of Call of Duty, where basically you're doing a bunch of fun, you know, like small little mini games. It switches every 30 seconds to a minute. Like I said, it's kind of like WarioWare in terms of like the, I guess like the format of the mode, but it's definitely more like Mario Party, where it's a bit more laid back and social and not as intense as WarioWare can be, because honestly, WarioWare can get really intense. Whereas the COD Warrior mode, it's still intense, but it's definitely a bit more laid back and chill. It's intense in a fun, but casual yet kind of competitive way, if that makes any sense. Just like you know, casual competitiveness. They also added a new weapon prestige camo to the game, which I'm obviously grinding for right now. I'm actually already halfway to it, and this being Mercury camo, and man, it looks amazing. So basically it phases between like this dark black and bluish green tint to back to like the purple ethereal looking one. It is really cool. You need 250,000 XP in order to unlock it, on top of the 200,000 for Molten Obsidian, on top of the 150,000 for the one trick camo. So it does take a bit to grind for. That being said, I have no problem grinding for it, because that camo is chef's kiss. So here we are on the map Yard, and as I said before, this is one of the new cell shaded maps that they have added to the game, and it looks so good. I love this aesthetic. Again, I love Borderlands, so there's definitely a bias there, and I also just love like other cell shaded games in general, like Okami and like Beautiful Joe from back in the day. But this art style, this aesthetic, it just looks so good. And as we're running through the map here, I'll let you go ahead and pull up the tap map. Yeah, this is definitely one of those slaughterhouse, shipment, meat house, stash, I'm getting all the map names mixed up, you know what I mean, meat stash house. In fact, as soon as they added it to the game, they already put it straight into the small map mosh pit playlist, so you know, you can go in there and find it in there as well. I actually really like the way that this map is laid out. So there's not really any verticality to it, but there is a lot of like hills and turnarounds and corners and stuff like that. So for example, like B flag is right here in the, oh well, you know, I'm getting shot. B flag is right here in this like central building, and basically it's like over here on the other side of that like circular thing, so you kind of have to like run around, but since you have that line of sight that's basically just like completely blocked off right there, you can kind of like set up traps if people try to come through, whether that be like claymores or C4s or just, you know, making sure your guns are ready on that point. And it actually gets really competitive because while that may seem kind of cheesy, there's actually like another doorway literally right to the left of that, so they can flank you from either direction. So say one teammate goes one way, you go the other, and it just leads to a lot of dynamic gunfights that happen in there, honestly. Normally when it comes to these slaughterhouse type of maps, I don't really expect too much out of them. I just expect them to be small, chaotic fun. But this one, there honestly seems to be like a lot of, I guess, like attention to detail as far as like the actual design of the map itself goes, which is like really cool to see. Because obviously at this point with these small maps, they could honestly make a map where it's literally just like a tiny box and there's 12 people inside of that tiny box. I'm talking like something where it's barely big enough to fit all the players inside of it. You just go in and hold RT, and honestly that would probably be more than enough for most players, because when we play these maps, we're just trying to ground out XP and kills as fast as possible. But nonetheless, they're still putting in the effort. They're literally like trying an entirely new art style, putting in all these cool little like design things here and there, and like, you know, even small things like this where like you can't walk through this, you gotta either crouch or slide under it. Like, it's small things like that that I really love in these maps, where they just try to do something small to kind of switch it up. And they already announced that they have a ton of events coming during Season 5, so between all the new events that we'll have to grind for, all the new camos and weapons and stuff that we have to grind for, I'm in love with this season so far, and I have no problem saying that this is easily probably the best season in Modern Warfare 3 so far. Not to mention all the other modes that are coming into the game yet. They mentioned arcade mode is going to be coming back, which was out earlier in the game's life cycle, but it's been revamped, and there's a bunch of new stuff inside of that, and they just have a bunch of other new stuff that's going to be coming into the game. And then they have the final Zombies story mission that's going to be coming mid-season, which I'm really excited for. You guys know me, I'm a huge Zombies guy. I mean, when it comes to Call of Duty, nowadays, I'm basically just like even across the board. It's like, I love multiplayer, I love the campaign, I love the zombies, so, you know, it's one of those things where it's just like, zombies being basically like 33% of the main Call of Duty package, you know, outside of like Warzone and stuff like that, which is basically like an entire beast in itself, which even then, Warzone has actually really been growing on me lately, and I've been having a lot of fun playing it. I used to be a little pessimistic about it, but nowadays, I just, you know, I've just learned to accept it for what it is, acknowledge the fact that it's not meant to be like the Call of Duty that I've always known and loved, and accept like, yes, this is a battle royale, it's something completely different, and I've genuinely just been having a lot of fun with it. But anyways, yeah, it's one of those things where there's just like all this exciting stuff coming from all directions, so I'm very happy right now with this season. Honestly, off the top of my head, I can't even remember everything else that they announced, because they announced some other new stuff coming, like, again, obviously new maps and weapons are going to be coming mid-season, and new modes and all that, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming to the game, and in terms of just like sheer content, this is definitely one of the most dense seasons that we've had so far. There's also a new point of interest over in Urzikstan and Warzone, and they added a new resurgence mode where you can only play in that point of interest just so you can kind of familiarize yourself with it, which I was playing yesterday. It was very fun, very chaotic. That being Superstore for, you know, the OGs that played the original Warzone back in the day with like MW 2019 and Verdansk and all that. It's essentially just like, you know, the Atlas Superstore from there. Yeah, besides all that, I mean, I got some grinding to do. Obviously, again, I gotta unlock the Mercury camo. I gotta unlock the Static HV. I gotta unlock Interstellar and Borealis for both the STG and the Static HV. And then, yeah, in the next video, we're also gonna be playing COD Warrior, just so you guys can kind of get a feel for that works. And again, anytime that they add new modes or events or literally anything to the game, which will be happening actually within a week, we'll be going ahead and covering it as always. Of course, I'm going to try to just keep grinding, clear out the battle pass, hit max rank, unlock all the cool stuff, go through, unlock all the armor challenge. So just basically whatever there is to unlock in the game right now, I'm going to go through and try to unlock it. But anyway, as always, massive shout out to all the patrons and shout out members, thank you to all the low volunteer and shout out to all the big volunteer, my last name is animated the shit that's on the run events on the cheat code. Thank you guys so much, guys. You're literal legends. I love you. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.